Hey, I was watching Big Weavy. He has a kind of a prison channel too, but he's always on late at night, and he does these long, like 4-hour marathons. But I just sent him a link. He might pop in and say hello with all his audience. There's a way to do that now.
Yeah.
One show can like merge with the other one. He gets. I was like his 17th subscriber. He's got like 20,000 subscribers now.
Yep.
So man. Anyways, we are live, guys. This is Federal Prison Talk. Hey, Anthony's here. Anthony, I got the link there if you want to click in, man. I didn't know if you'd be awake.
Yeah, come on
Anthony's
in,
coming up on sentencing, but the link's right above you, Anthony. Anyways, this is live Federal Prison Talk, but Brian's got to go to prison tomorrow, guys. Man, how you feeling about that?
Well, it's hard to say how I'm feeling about that. I even had my PSR probation officer just pass me in the airport. Wow.
And Anthony, I'm sorry you had a bad day. I mean, Anthony's right behind you, He's getting sentenced, I think, to 20. When are you getting sentenced, Anthony? Pretty quick here. I think it's next week.
Hey, Anthony, how are you? Yeah, dial in, Anthony. You can get in and talk. Why not?
Anyway, you can speak up a little bit louder. I got the volume. It's not coming through that great.
Sure. Any better now?
A little bit. Let's see.
Hold on. Let me do this. How's this? Any better now?
Yeah. See, I don't know if I got all my volumes turned up. I just don't know if audience can do it.
Hopefully you can be able to hear me. I'm on my earbuds.
Yeah, that's better now. That's better.
Yep.
So first of all, you're going to Deluth Federal Prison Camp in Minnesota. All I know about Duluth is they make some kind of, there's a clothing factory there, right?
They do, and there's it's right on Lake Superior. There's a huge port there that brings in these really, really massive ships off Lake Superior, 1,000-foot long ships. Lots of iron ore. So,
and a prison camp.
Yeah, there's not much information about the prison camp. The camp is pretty much really kind of a mystery. There's a couple car dealers that went there for some wire fraud back 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Besides that, hardly any information out there about the camp.
I couldn't find out much. Like tonight I do a re-entry kind of class with there was about 20 people there. But I was able to call Brian, guys, put him on speakerphone, and a few of the guys said some words to him. And one guy told me, "You're going to a camp, dude." They had no sympathy for you whatsoever, man. These guys just came out of penitentiaries and mediums,
Yeah, one of the guys was from camp. The other two guys were at mediums.
Yeah, they had worked their way down to a camp, though. They didn't start at a camp like you are.
It's going to be interesting. There's no unicorn at this facility. There's nothing really there. There's no information about any jobs there.
Yeah, there are not too many unicorns dying out anyways. They used to have almost every federal prison camp and low need, they would have them, and guys would make $400 a month. Those days are kind of gone. There's a lot of embezzlement going on, though.
Yep. So it's going to be interesting to see what's there.
Yeah. Anthony Brian. Yeah, Anthony has a question for you there. Wants to know if you chose the camp or did they just send you there?
They sent me there. My judge had recommended that I go to medical. But
yeah, I remember that part.
Unfortunately, it didn't end up that way. So, and actually, it's just probably a good thing anyway.
Yeah, you don't want to go to a medical if you can avoid going to a medical. I mean, because none of them are outdoors. You don't get to. Maybe there's a rooftop kind of yard or something, but you're mixed with violent criminals. Everybody's just mixed. They probably separate you to where you sleep, and you're in a building for the rest of.
I'll pick up the phone here in a second, guys. Sorry, I'm trying to get a pain pill. My back is killing me.
I was asking Brian earlier. I go, you probably got to go get your luggage first before you don't want to come on the show. And I didn't even think you don't bring no luggage to prison. No, I don't have
I
any
did
luggage.
not. No.
Yeah, I wasn't even
Just
thinking.
carry on.
Yeah. So you gotta, you're at the
Just to
airport
carry on.
still.
That's it.
So what? You got to go to. You already booked a hotel for the night, or you got to find a
Nope.
place?
No, I'm actually going directly in. I'm flying in at 7:22 in the morning, and there's a 3-hour drive up. I get at 10:50. I'll have enough time to get lunch, and then I'll go right to the camp.
Where you? I thought you were in Minneapolis Airport right now. Didn't you just fly out of Fairfield?
No, I'm in Anchorage.
Oh, you're in Anchorage now. Oh, I thought you were going to. I thought you landed in Minneapolis. Okay, I put it wrong on the description.
Nope.
You're in Anchorage now. You got a long way to go, man. And you got to be there. What time?
5.5 hours. 5.5 hours. I get in at 7:22 in the morning.
And what time do you got to be turning yourself into the prison?
It's usually by 2 o'clock.
Yeah, mine said I think mine too, but I usually by noon. What I've heard is, noon's about somewhere around noon, 2 o'clock. So you've got time to get there from Anchorage, right? Because you know what happens.
Yeah, like I said, it's 5.5.
You know what happens if you're late to
5.5
prison,
hours
right?
on the flight. No, yeah,
late,
no, it's a escape charge. I understand.
It could be. If you showed up there an hour late and you explain what happened, they're going to throw you in the shoe for a couple weeks. But I'm sure they wouldn't have no more time. But they're not going to be happy. Sometimes you get there though, they don't even know you're coming.
Well, and that's pretty much the way this is. They got. I never got a letter actually from the BOP. I got a letter from my pretrial caseworker who sent me the information. He's like, we got this, but you probably won't get anything because of how quickly it's going. And I did. I never got anything from the BOP.
I have heard of people showing up at a prison. They go, "You're not supposed to be here. Or you're supposed to be in, Massachusetts or something." I've heard of that happening. Have you called the prison to see if they?
I've heard that too.
You should actually call the prison.
They said
make sure the reservation's there.
And what they told me was that my BOP officer, if my federal case officer gave me the information to show up with what he gave me. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I've heard of it happening, but I don't think if you showed up at a prison, even if it's the wrong one, I don't think they would penalize you because you didn't show up at a prison. They'd hold you there in transportation.
Well, and I got it. Like I said, I have a letter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have a letter from the caseworker, from the pretrial worker, and he said that I'm supposed to be here. So that's my letter I'm going with. I actually have the letter with me.
Right. So Anthony's got a question for you, and we got a few people popping in here too. It says, I know Brian got 24 months, but what were his guidelines? Did they give him above or below guidelines?
Actually, it was a departure even from what they had asked for in the plea agreement. The guideline was much higher. It was 4 counts with 20 years each for wire fraud, and then a conspiracy for wire fraud.
Yeah, you had an interesting case. They kept.
5th count was conspiracy.
Right. What was your number like? What was it? What your guideline point when you went on the day of sentencing? Remember?
22.
22. Okay. And what was your criminal category?
It was 0. So I have.
Well, no, it wouldn't be 0. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. So you were 1. Criminal history 1. They don't have a 0.
Yeah, correct. It was 1. I never had any. I don't have any history at all.
Because you'd be surprised. Some people don't think they do, but they can be assholes and get you for unpaid traffic tickets or failure to pay a headlight out that you had 9 years ago, stuff like that. But you got.
Yeah, with my PSR, it came out to 40. Came out to 44 to 51 is what the PSR came out to, and it was a departure.
That's way below. So why do you think? Why do you think it got 24 months? Why do you think it went so far below?
Because the guy right before me that got sentenced from the same judge had $26 million in fraud, and he gave him 10 years.
So you think the judge? Gave him 10 years. So you think whoever the judge sentences before you and after you think that actually plays on a person?
Well, it has to be fair. So it has to be fair to whatever was done around you. You can, if not, you can actually fight it in a habeas court case. So if he departs too much from that, if you go, this particular guy, his name is Jarrett, he got 26 months. He was actually supposed to get 72 months. They ended up giving him 10 years total. But he did $126 million in 100%, did not build anything. In my particular case, actually build a building and build a business.
The guy before me, I remember when he got sentenced, he had robbed there was a cigarette truck that pulled up in front of a gas station, right? And this guy was still on probation, but a cigarette truck pulls up in front of a gas station, and it was a lady truck driver. He grabs her out of the truck, right? Ties her up in the gas station, right? And the guy who was running the gas station, he'd already had him tied up because the cigarette truck was delivering cigarettes to this gas station. He ties the gas station attendant, the little clerk, he ties him up, grabs the lady out of the truck, rapes her, then ties her up, and then steals her cigarette truck, right? And left his car there. and the judge gave him 20 years.
I've seen kind of like this particular guy. I think the guy here in Anchorage, he did this. It was called the Daily Bread Fund, and he literally completely faked the entire company. He raised his first raise. He did like $7 million. Then he did another $25 million, and then he did another $100 million on top of that. And he spent all the money that he brought in. And he rented airplanes and flew to Hawaii. He bought brand new motorcycles. He bought a huge $1 million motorhome. He faked it. So they have to take that into consideration. There's actually part of the sentencing in the SOR that tells you in the SOR that is it fair and is it punishment that meets the criteria for the local area. It also comes from the local area too. And this thing could have been the same and been in Florida, and the local area could have been 15 years and got the same thing.
So, Brian, what do you think is going to happen to you when you get to prison? I know you've been kind of preparing and reading and studying, but I want you to know, and I know the guys tonight when I pass the phone around, everything you think you know about prison now and how it's going to be, I can't wait to talk to you after you've been there for like a year. It's just not going to be. Then you'll wake up and you'll see you'll know what I'm talking about. I don't mean, but you're about to find out. You're not going to get hurt. It's not like that. But the staff, prison people who work for the prisons, they just don't care about their job. They don't care about. You'll find a few guys that are kind of treat you like a human being, and once in a while want to take you under their wing. But you're going to see how lazy federal employees are.
I understand. And Anthony, I see your question. Restitution, yes, they sent it the day of sentencing. They sent it. So Anthony just asked about restitution. It was 181. It was 181,000 is what the restitution is.
That's nothing. That's nothing.
Yep. On the aspect of I mean, this is all public out there, so all this can be looked up easy enough. So it's nothing that's mind shocking that's out there. What do I think is going to happen? There's a lot of things happening in the BOP right now. Sheridan just being shut down. A lot of caseworkers getting in trouble.
Was Sheridan shut down? Is it Sheridan shut down? You said?
Yeah, they shut down almost all the programs at Sheridan. They took RDAP out.
That's one of the biggest prisons they got on the West Coast. It's 2 prisons in one, I think.
Yep. Yeah, it's a low and a camp.
And they had two RDAP programs. They had a daytime RDAP and a nighttime, something like that. Two programs
Correct.
going. It's just at the same time. They
It's
shut
gone.
Sheridan down. But
Gone.
now
Yeah, you can look it up. You can look it up. They just got.
but remember we had the conversation that Otisville was shut down, and I got a guy who just went there last week.
Well, go ahead and bring this up on your screen right now. You can bring it up and just look at BOP report on Sheridan. You'll bring it up and you'll see that there was over 200 people waiting for laboratories for over a year. There was the evaluation programs were not being done. The credits were not being done. There's huge amounts of things.
Yeah, that's most prisons. I mean, they've shut down Dublin because they were raping women there.
Hey, Anthony, I tried to look up some information about you, Anthony, and I don't mind answering some of these questions. How much are they going to take? Well, unfortunately, I have nothing left. I put all of my money into this as well as the money that I invested. I had investors. I put $480,000 in my own money. And there is nothing left. I have to file Chapter 7 bankruptcy. What are they going to get? Probably $25 every quarter from me, just because I don't have the money. There's nothing available. And again, this is out there and it's public knowledge. There, my sentencing memo is out there from my attorney, and it's absolutely public. It's out there. How much are you going to get a month? Yeah, whatever I can pay. But I am under I have a Chapter 7 bankruptcy. The company is now bankrupt. It has been filed and it's going away. That doesn't get rid of restitution, but it does. The business is going back to the original owner. The building itself is being surrendered back in the bankruptcy, and there's nothing for anyone to get. So it's that simple.
But what they will do, like they're going to want you to get a job when you get out. They're going to, maybe take $100 a month, 10% or something. If any future jobs that you take.
Well, that's actually in there. Yeah. They're taking, while I'm in, they're even taking 50% of anything that I make. So if I make 12 cents an hour, they're going to take 6 cents an hour. During the 3 years that I'm out, they're going to take my Alaska dividend, and they're going to take 10% of my pay.
Yeah, they start
sending
sending
3
you.
years. After that,
They start sending you the bill while you're in prison. Yeah, I don't know why they do that, but it's kind of cruel. Yeah, they sent me the bill.
I already have it, but it's under the Chapter 7 stay.
Yeah.
Under Chapter 7 stay, you don't. It's not collectible right now, anyway.
Yeah, they sent me like a 10-page kind of
bankruptcy stays are wonderful things.
Yeah, they'll send you a financial statement to fill out in prison. I put down every sentence, every question. You took everything. You took everything. You took everything. You took everything, and I mailed it back to them.
Oh, they've done it. Thank you.
Hey, can you show us the airport maybe with your phone there?
Yeah. So, right next to a brewery, actually.
Yeah. Hey, drink while smoke them while you got them, drink them while you got them. It's kind of late out there. What time is it time is it over there?
It's a little after 9. It's a little after 9.
Okay, and then when's your next flight?
What time is it there, Sean? Sean?
It's midnight.
3 hours difference from you and I.
And then so you're gonna fly. When's your next flight?
It leaves. It boards at. Hold on a second. They checked it, so I don't miss it. Leaves at 10:55. Boards at 10:20, 10:30.
So you're gonna sleep on the airplane then? I guess kind of.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, I've been up since 3 o'clock, so yeah, I'm definitely sleeping on the airplane.
And how are you getting from the airport to the prison? You taking a taxi, Uber, or what's going on? Huh? Enjoy that food, because
well, I'm talking to you guys, but
yeah, no, eat all you can right now. The food's not too bad in federal prison, depending on who's cooking it, but I recommend if you can get a job in food service, go for it because then you'll eat good.
Good meal, actually.
Well, yeah, you got the whole combo plate there.
I had a Scotch egg and a prime rib and blue cheese sandwich.
What's a Scotch egg? I've heard of that before, but I forget what it is. What is that?
So, Sean, what do you think? What do you think is going to be the biggest thing? I mean, I think it's going to be the boredom for somebody with a college degree and not much to do in that area.
You're gonna meet a lot of guys just like you, intellectual people, and they're all gonna be innocent. But you're gonna meet doctors and lawyers, and you're gonna meet drug dealers, but they're the higher ups. These guys are educated too. You're gonna meet a lot of drug mules, right? Maybe not so educated, but it's pretty much nonviolent people. You're gonna the paisas. Now that's Mexicans. They run half the population is going to be Mexican, at least. Even in Duluth, they run the prison, right? But they're cool guys. Just get to know them. Most of them speak English. There'll be a few that don't, but they're all here legally, and now they wish they weren't. They'd rather be shipped back home. I'm sure, where they don't have to do any time. But no, you find a program. You get a program going. When I say a program, you get a schedule. You get a routine going. Okay? If it's working out, it's working out. If it's playing chess and playing, now you can finish a Monopoly game. You'll meet some guys to hang out with. The law library is always a good place to start to meet people.
Tell me about the pool hustlers. How are the pool hustlers?
We had a couple pool tables. And, I hung around there for a week or 2 or 3 to see what's going on. Nobody was betting on pool. You guys are kidding me. You're playing poker. They got poker tables going left and right at night, after all the paid staff goes home. And you guys are playing these high-stake poker games with $1,000 in the pot, and nobody's betting on a pool game? Yeah. A couple guys here and there, and they make a little friendly bet, but they're still pool hustlers. I'm all kidding me. Guys. Maybe at your prison there will be, but most prisons have pool tables. They'll have bocce ball.
Yeah, bocce ball. There's bocce ball. There's
for the Italian guys. For this fucking guy, right?
Well, I'm Italian, so I'll fit in.
Yeah, bocce ball's a big thing. They have racquetball, pickleball's big, handball. All those kinds of things, all the workout equipment. There's no more free weights. I don't know if you're into that, but that stuff's all gone. It's all pulleys and levers and stuff. But there's a lot of it. There's a lot of classes, ACE classes, adult continuing education. It's taught by inmates, but if you take those classes, you get time off your sentence too.
I'll probably end up teaching some of those.
And you can get a job in education teaching. I took, a couple of real estate classes by people that were there for real estate fraud,
Yeah.
But, take classes, get involved, you just get a routine going, man. If it's, I don't know if you're into baseball, but they play a lot of baseball in prison. Summertime, so the best baseball games I've ever seen are in prison. Some play softball, some play hardball, baseball, you know what I mean? But even the softball games, unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
Everybody sits in the I'm gonna say that the fan stands, but everybody's yelling and screaming. They got all everything that you would see in a professional game. I mean, they got a first base coach, a second base coach. They got a guy changing the numbers on the score. They've got everything covered, man. It's all the equipment. They put out, the chalk lines. In the morning. It's just unbelievable watching a baseball game in prison. Best ball game I've ever seen.
What do they use to bet on poker?
So the way it works is a lot of Cash App and all that, Venmo and stuff. So a lot of people, they will borrow somebody's cell phone or use a cell phone, call their old lady or somebody on the outside, and say, I need you to send $500 to Jesus at Cash App, and Jesus' woman's he's gonna let Jesus know, yep, the money just came. That's one way. Or you just your commissary items are worth a lot of money. In the higher up prisons, they use stamps, but stamps are worthless to camp. But they'll trade meat in a bag. You're gonna have carnitas, tuna, and salmon, and ground beef and chicken. All this stuff comes in these pouches, and they're worth big money. So people trade meats. So you trade commissary items, or you're doing the outside thing, cashing out people back and forth, that kind of thing. Do not gamble if you're putting on credit.
I hear there's a lot.
If you're going to gamble, do not gamble with credit, man.
I hear there's a lot of stores going on where.
What'd you say, stores?
So I hear from a couple of people that I have talked to. Yeah, that if you go buy something, you have to replace it with two of the same thing next week.
Yeah, 2-for-1s. That's so like, you go to the commissary store once a week. Now, say you're out of toothpaste. So there's a guy that help out his locker full of stuff, and they'll sell you stuff 2-for-1, sometimes 3-for-1, and you better pay that guy back. Everybody's got kind of a hustle.
So that's what a lot of people have been telling me.
Guys that'll clean your cell.
Quite a bit.
What's that now?
That's what a lot of people have been telling me has been going on quite a bit. The other thing that I have gotten for information out of there has been about people running their own stores.
Yeah, but there's always a guy, but it's not. There wasn't one or two guys. Actually, had 400 inmates. There really wasn't much money in it because everybody went to commissary, and maybe you run out of something. And now in a jail, that's big money in a jail. Running the store in a jail or in a penitentiary because they get locked down a lot. So camps don't get locked down that much, so it's really not a good investment to run a store. They struggle, like the mom and pop deal.
Well, I'm gonna do a newsletter from inside. So one of the things I'll be doing, Sean, is I'll be emailing you a newsletter what I do find out.
Okay. Yeah. So you were asking me, I know it's getting my information.
We will be
when you sign up to get approval for someone's email, they're going to ask for a name and an address. They don't really care. That's really only important for your mail you're going to mail out. Like I said, you can put 1600 Pennsylvania. They just want it's a formality. As long as you know somebody's email. Now, did you write down your passwords and your usernames? All that stuff for when you get out.
Okay. Trying to get my waitress's attention here so I can.
Okay. All right. One second.
What else do you think, Sean? What else do you think?
Or did you write down passwords and usernames and email addresses and all that kind of stuff?
Oh, I have it. I have more than that. I have better than that. It's okay.
Okay. How about contact all the people that you want to write, their emails, their addresses, their phone numbers? Did you write? Okay, now
I have.
You have that with you. Now you should mail yourself a copy in case they don't let you bring that in.
Yeah, I have it. I mail myself a copy, and my wife has it as well.
Okay, how about newspaper subscriptions, magazine subscriptions? Have you went
don't have the money for it.
Don't have the money. Don't have the money. Okay. How about prescriptions? Are you on any prescription medication?
I had them with 2 weeks worth of everything.
Okay, did you bring the empty bottles?
Yeah, I have filled scripts. I have 2 weeks of everything.
Yeah, I know, but did you bring the empty bottles to show the prison?
I have more than that. I have fresh scripts that I filled today.
Oh, okay, but here's the thing: they're not going to let you take those in. They're gonna take those, and they're going to give you their own version, something that's closest.
R&D told me to bring 2 weeks worth because it's going to take that long for them to get to their meds.
Yeah, but they're probably not going to give it to you. They almost every prison has its own pharmacy on campus per se. So they will give you the closest version that they can come up with like that. But yeah, I doubt that they're going to give those. I really doubt they're going to give those to you unless it's life or death.
I checked on the formula, and everything that I have is on the formula. everything.
Right, but they're not going to let you take those actual the ones you bring in. They're not going to give those to you.
They told Sean, RD told me to bring 2 weeks.
I know. Here's the thing. You're going to hear all this till you get there, and when you get there, they'll tell you one thing. Sure, I hear this all the time. You'll find out when you get there.
Mm-hmm. Well, one of my attorneys is already set up for that if that happens.
Yeah. Anthony's got a question. You see that one? Can you read it? So on a 24-month sentence, how long before you are home? See, I'm guessing about a year. Could
12 and a half
10 months.
Yeah, 12 and a half to 14 months.
You may get more halfway house time than you expect.
Yeah. Well, and I'll show my halfway house. It says I can leave as early as September of this year on the halfway house. It's that. But
that just depends if they can find a halfway house that's got an opening and has the staff to accommodate you.
Yep. Yep.
Everything. They say all this, and it's on paper. Yeah, sure. That it looks good on paper, but in reality, you may have a case manager that goes on vacation and they don't have a replacement, and you're stuck without one, and all kinds of stuff happens, man. Prison goes on lockdown for 3 months. You know,
the RD person gave me the case manager who already has my paperwork, my PSR and my statement of reason, and they also gave me the information of the person who runs the halfway house that covers my area, and I talked to them as well.
This case manager now, I don't know if I've talked to you about this before. Your attitude that you're going to have with him is going to make or break if he's going to help you out or not. Because if you go in there with a standing entitlement attitude and you're entitled to this, you ain't getting shit from that guy, man.
Excuse me. Can I get a check? I understand, and I get it. But on the same token, Sean, I have a attorney in Minneapolis who's just waiting for that.
Yeah, so do a lot of guys. I'm just trying to wake you up. It's a different world in there.
Sean, I hope you're right. I hope you're right, but I hope that I'm right even more.
I hope you're right. Now, not every person is going to be the same, but I'm just saying, the staff, whoever, if it's the nurse, if it's the dining room attendant, if it's, the guy who's running the recreation, whoever works for the staff, just treat them with dignity and you'll get it back.
Oh, yeah. I get it.
Talk to man to man. Yeah. Don't kiss their ass and don't demand. Just talk to them like they'll go a long way.
I get it.
A lot of the correctional officers feel that they're not there to punish you. This is your punishment. So, but don't make it difficult on them. They want to go to work and they want to come home and they don't want to retire and live off their pension. That's really all they care about.
I hear you, Sean.
You're going to camp.
I get it. Trust me, that's what I would like to do too. That's what I thought of it.
The guys told you tonight you're going to a camp, man. You got nothing to worry about. Really, it's a cakewalk.
Oh, I'm hoping that's the case. Hopefully, I'm just bored out of my mind.
You may be. Some people choose to keep their time away.
Because you got to remember, Sean, where I live in a state of bored out of my mind.
Well, then you'll have things to do there. You'll have things to do there.
And that's the thing. There's more things for me to do there than what I have to do at home. So, yeah, by a long shot. By a long shot.
Yeah.
I'm 9 miles from town where I live, and I'm 125 miles from Walmart. So,
yeah. The commissary list is probably getting. You're probably gonna love the commissary list there.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you. Mine's Brian, by the way. I ever get down to Kingston, or get back. My waitress is from Jamaica. I spent a lot of time with her. A lot of time.
But how are you really feeling, man? Are you scared? Are you anxious?
So what else you think?
Nervous? Well, I'm wondering how you're feeling.
Oh, my
are you
nerves?
scared?
Yeah,
Are you
I
nervous?
mean, you know,
There are going to be. You got to watch out. There are going to be some guys that are going to try to manipulate you, be your friend, and they don't want to be your friend. They want to see what you got, what they can take, what they can manipulate out of you. You know what they can take from you, basically. There's going to be rich guys in there who care less about anybody, and you'll notice the rich guys. They have somebody please their cell. They don't do shit. They found some excuse to get out of work, and they got this high and mighty attitude. And you know, those are the kind of guys that actually usually end up back in prison too.
And you know, I think the biggest thing, like I said, one of the biggest things I can think of is I spent my entire high school being bullied. So, and that was mostly because of the position that I was in. I spent most of my time in karate, and we were taught that we were always a better person. We sat back and we didn't do anything. And there was people in my high school, even though I was a hockey player, that spent their entire time just preying on that fact. And I'm sure they'll have that where I'm at too. I mean, where
phone calls are still free, Anthony.
It's just something I'm already used to in my life.
Yeah, I did find out about tablets. I think you were asking me. They're $115. You buy them off commissary. You can't do video phone calls with email from only games and movies.
Yeah, the tablet is one thing. The tablet's one thing I'm looking forward to and getting. But Anthony, no, phone calls are not free anymore. But they did raise it to 510. It's no longer 300 minutes. It's 510 minutes.
I just talked to a guy. He got out 2 days ago.
What I did, what I recommend for
a guy just got out.
Position might be location, but I can tell you this one definitely is not. And one of the things I'll tell you, Anthony, too, and this is what I did for my entire list. Get on Google Voice, tell all your friends and family to get a Google Voice number local to your wherever you're going. And that local number is only going to be 3 cents to 5 cents a minute instead of 21 cents a minute for long distance.
That's the way we used
to get
do
Google
it.
Voice numbers. You want it.
That's how we used to do it.
So that's the biggest piece of advice I can tell you, Anthony, because you're going to spend a lot of money no matter what. Collect calls most of the time are not allowed.
They don't have collect calls. You can't dial 800 numbers. You can't do three-way phone calls.
Yeah, and don't follow any of those websites that are out there that say that they can give you a better deal and you can buy prepackaged minutes. It doesn't exist in the federal system. It only exists in the state system.
A lot of times, phone won't accept certain phones calling in either. You know, like a text now number, they won't accept a text now number. Certain. That's how it used to be. But the tablets, you get music, games, and video and movies, and that's all. I thought you could use video phones on those, but I think the women's prisons let you do that, but not the men's.
I'm sorry. Part of the CARES Act, the video calls are gone. It was part of the CARES Act. It's gone now. Video calls are gone.
Even in the only women's prisons had them, as far as I know. Are they're gone out of the women's prisons?
Yeah, the only thing I talked to Fed Phoenix, she told me that her family members, her kids were allowed to call her, but she got out a year ago too.
Yeah, Fed Phoenix, Audrey, yeah.
Audrey, yeah. Yep.
Now, Brian, do you expect them to garnish your prison account for the overage? They did for me, Anthony.
No, and the only reason they're not going to, for me, at least for the first 3 months, Anthony, is because I have a stay, a federal stay. That's from a bankruptcy stay, and they can't do it because of that. After that stay is gone, yes, they can.
You got any more questions, Brian?
I I don't know. I spent hours upon hours upon hours of researching all this stuff, so I can give you the information that I have. And
Yeah.
Man, I looked it up the other day, and just my browser history alone on BOP.com was over 500 hours. 500
So
hours.
what are you bringing in there? What are you bringing with you in there? When you walk in that gate, what are you going to have in your hands?
CPAP machine, my medical records, my contact list, and my meds. That's it.
Any books? Like anything religious? How about your glasses?
No, just my glasses.
Okay, now are they valued under $100?
No,
You're breaking up now.
yeah,
Okay.
100%. $26 pair of glasses.
Okay. Sometimes they let you keep the key.
I didn't break.
It depends on the prison. Depends on the prison. As long as they're not Nikes or something, something expensive, they do.
It's colors, and unfortunately mine are blue, so they won't let me.
Yeah, I had just white Walmart tennis shoes, and they let me bring them.
Yeah, unfortunately mine are blue Nikes, and they're under $100, but they're. It depends on what's dorm they put me. I might get lucky and get in the blue dorm. So one of the dorms is actually blue. So this facility is not. Yeah, that was Anthony already asked that question. Yeah. One of the so these dorms, one is orange, one is purple, one is blue. These are color codes for the clothing. One is green. So orange, purple, blue, and green. Depends on where you're at, what dorm.
So it's dorms. You found out it's dorms.
Yeah, it's there's five doors including the RDAP dorm, but that's separate from everything. The RDAP dorm is separate.
How many beds in a dorm did you find out?
It depends on which one, on how old the building is. Some of them are 2-person cubes, some of them are 3-person cubes, and some of them are 4-person cubes. So it really just depends.
Okay, so when you say dorm, I'm thinking like an open dorm, because that's what they have in Lowe's. So cubicles is kind of different. I guess we call them.
Yeah, these are 2-story buildings. If you actually go out on Google Earth, you can actually see the building.
Yeah, that's what I lived in. I lived in a 2-story building.
Yeah, and then each one of those floors is separated out in cubes inside of the dorm. So, but they are listed as dormitories. It's 205, 206, 207, 208, and then the RDAP dorm.
Okay. We called them ranges. Each range had eight little cubicles on each side, 16 altogether on each range, and then there was 4 of those ranges on each floor.
How long was your book? Your A&O book? Where you came in? How many pages?
My what book?
Your A&O, your emissions and your emissions book, orientations and emissions book. How big was it?
Oh, I don't even think they gave me one. They didn't have one. They didn't have any available.
51.
Yeah.
51 pages. It was published in 2010. I've read every one.
Yeah, no, they didn't have any. They didn't have any printed up. They told me I'll borrow one from somebody who still has one. They didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't know. I didn't get that.
Here's Anchorage right now. Give an idea what Anchorage is.
Oh. Blue skies.
This is a pretty neat building. There's 4 terminals here, and 2 of those terminals are actually walkout airplane terminals on the.
Being summer in Alaska, do you guys? How many hours of nighttime is there or daylight?
23 hours of daylight.
23 hours of daylight. How do you get used to that?
I don't know. I've been up there 24 years. I can't tell you anything different.
So by the time the sun sets, it's coming right back up, right?
Yeah, it never really sets. It's like dusk. You know, never really sets.
So it never goes completely dark. Wow. And then the winter is the opposite? No sunlight?
Correct.
Wow. So there's no use having daylight saving times there. Right?
We actually have it, but they're trying to get rid of it. But we do have it, but they're trying to get rid of it. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters for is school, really.
Yeah.
But our schools started here. I mean, there's kids that get on the buses. My school district that our kids grew up in was 5,488 square miles, the size of New Jersey.
Wow.
With 2,500 kids total, and that's from kindergarten the whole way through 12th grade.
Hey man, it's
But now-
getting late. I got to work in the morning, Brian. But why don't we take a few minutes here? Why don't you say your piece to the world or whatever you want to get out there and message it? But I do got to get up really early.
What time do you work tomorrow? What time do you work from?
I got to be there at 7:30 a.m. tomorrow. I got to pick up donations before I go into the office.
So that's let's see. So Duluth is what 2 hours the other way from, correct?
Yeah.
So I get off the airplane out there at 7:22 a.m. I get on the bus at 7:50. So that would be 5:50 a.m. your time. You want to talk like on the way up through there, like 6:50 on your way into work?
6:50 a.m. I'll maybe in the car while I'm driving to work, or I'll try to give you a call. I'll have some time to say goodbye to you, or at least when I get to the office. What time are you gonna? You don't turn yourself into 2 in the afternoon, right?
Correct. But it's the ground transportation is going to take me to 11. So I'm going to go get lunch after that because lunch is from 10:30 to 11:15.
Why not talk to you around? How about around lunchtime? That's kind of better for me. Your lunchtime there.
Yeah, that'll work. I'll be at the table up there about 11:30.
Because in the morning, man, I'm making coffee. I'm jumping in the shower. I mean, maybe with a grab. It'd be easier when I get to. I can just call me anytime. I'll be in the office. I don't know. When we have a meeting in the morning, but after 9 or 10, I'll have some free time to talk.
Yeah, and if you want to do anything, if anyone comments on this, I want to talk with
and I got some other guys that I work with. I got some other guys at the office. That also been in federal prison. Maybe they can talk to them too.
Yeah, I mean, from where you're working at now, you could probably even go live from work right now, can't you?
Yes, I can. Yeah.
Maybe it'd be worth it for 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
It just depends if still trying to work out. So we're actually getting a new building, and so I don't have an office anymore. But I can sit there and I can figure it out.
Yeah. But anyway, I mean, just to give you something, have some people talking about it too. If Anthony gets back on, or Anthony wants to actually call in tomorrow, maybe we can talk in person.
Okay. So I'll take a couple minutes and tell the world goodbye, whatever you want to, say. Is this will be a rerun?
Yeah, I know, and we'll definitely do a follow up after this. I mean, we'll end up in halfway house or whatever, forever, and we'll do a follow up from it.
Yeah.
So. But and
have you thought about the future when you get out? What are you going to do?
Oh, I probably not. Probably just still get my Social Security disability and get it over with because I already started it. I can't get it while I'm in there, so I might as well get it afterwards.
Your life's not over. You know this, right? It's just a chapter in the book, man.
There's 3 more plates that need to go on my back. I have both my knees already replaced, and there's very little chance of me doing anything that's going to be anything phenomenal after it.
You could write a book. You could write a book while you're in there.
I'll probably gonna do something like that. I'll probably do journals and things like that. But I'm also going to, like I said, I'm going to do a newsletter from inside. You can publish it.
There you go.
Okay. Oh yeah. It looks like we're boarding, so good timing.
All right, man. I will. We'll talk tomorrow, and have a good flight. Okay.
Have a good
Thanks for coming on, and don't
Thanks
give
for
up,
having me,
man. Don't give up on yourself.
one. Oh, I ain't giving up, but I can tell you that enough is enough.
All right.
Bye.
Okay, man. Talk to you.